Hello and welcome everyone to Unlocking Marketplace Success, Mastering Amazon's The Great Indian Festival. I am Shruti. I will be a moderator for the day. I am a team lead at AdYogi. I handle the marketing department. AdYogi is a SaaS marketing automation software that specializes in executing end-to-end performance marketing and management. Developed with a vision to help e-commerce businesses such as yourself. We also have our panelists for the day today with us. We have Abhi Sharma, Head of Marketplaces at Yogi. We have Amar Akbote, Partner Manager, Amazon. Siddharth, National Manager at Victorinox. Vinayak Garg, Founder, Lazy Gardener, and Charchita Biswas, Partner Manager, Amazon. Of course, we will give the panelists some time to introduce themselves. They will walk you through their experiences, etc. All I'll say about today's discussion is to keep your notepads handy because this is going to be information packed. With that, I will introduce today's subject. The objective of today's discussion is quite simple. The festive season is approaching us with full force, and we want our e-commerce community, our e-commerce brands to be well prepared for that. With Amazon's Great Indian Festival starting in the next few days, we are going to discuss about the past, the present, and the future of the Great Indian Festival. And while we delve into a candid yet informational conversation, our speakers will share some valuable insights on the festival's performance, evolving trends, and also Amazon's expectations. We'll also offer you a quick sneak peek into what goes behind the scenes of one of India's most significant events. Without further ado, I would like to start with the discussion today. First, I would want to invite all of the panelists to start introducing themselves. Abir, maybe you can kickstart.
Right. Thanks, Shruti, for that quick introduction there. So just brief about me. So in the last 10 years of my experience, I've been involved into e-commerce sector, consulting sector, business and HR consulting sectors, ed tech sectors. So in e-commerce sector, I started with my own brands, building my own brands into ethnic and electronics category. It was around 4 to 5 years back that I moved totally into the digital marketing space, specifically. And over these 4 years are something that I've enjoyed a lot. And I've worked with almost 100 plus brands now in helping them, grow their e-commerce journeys across different geographies, including India, the entire Asia Pacific region and the American region. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Abir. Siddharth.
Hi team. So I lead e-commerce and digital for Vitons in India. I'll tell you, I've been in this space for more than 15 years now. Digital, to be honest, is kind of a blood for me now. I've come from the roots where used to use the kind of execute the campaigns of Google, Facebook, and everything. And quite happy to do this. But especially e-commerce. It's digital, which completely I am up to the game always. Okay. I have in fact established my own brand known as Brothcraft. It was one of the first to do it in India, which was completely, we used to make bone broth, and we were digitally heavy. And glad to say that we had a lot of celebrities ordering from us, like from Malaika Arora, Zahir Khan, and many to add there. But yes, what I've learned on e-commerce is huge, out huge there, and I'm very happy to be on this panelist today.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Vinayak.
Hi, I run a brand called Lazy Gardener, and we are a 4-year-old brand now. And our focus is on urban gardening. So essentially, we found a gap, me being an avid gardener myself, that as the spaces, time, and resources are getting lesser and lesser, probably there's a scope for reinventing or relearning how people garden, have plants, and take care of them. We started totally D2C on our own website. Amazon is something that we started post-COVID. And really this year has been what we have done, a very focused job, especially with AdYogi on board with us. And really excited to be part of this panel and just share my learnings on our growth in Amazon.
Thank you so much, Vinay. Amar as well as Chachitra are our partner managers at Amazon. And we have been very grateful to be associated with them, and them coming forward and helping us with this organizing as well as executing this webinar has been absolutely wonderful. As you can see that our entire panel is a mix of brands. There's founders, we have e-commerce heads, we have Abhi from the AdYogi team who will talk about, how to manage marketplace ads. And also we have Amar and Chachitra who are from the Amazon team itself. So I think with this kind of a panel, you can expect a lot of insights coming in your way. And with that, I would like to start with our conversation, starting with Abir. So, Abir, as you know, that there's a lot of talk around innovation features, jargon around metrics, amid which brands usually fall behind on prepping for the Great Indian Festival, right? So, we at AdYogi have in the past executed multiple events. So, how exactly would you say brands should prepare for the upcoming Great Indian Festival? And when exactly is the right time for them to start? And what can they expect in the coming few weeks?
Right. So, Shruti, the second part of your question, what is the right time to start preparing for GIF or in general for any event? That's a usual dilemma that brands face, and often we come across that question. Uh, so, if we talk about that, about from a ads point of view, so brands need to ask themselves two questions before planning, getting started with the plan. The first one is what is their objective of
Audio कहाँ चलेगी?
uh, am I audible?
Yes, sir,
I
audible.
all right, okay. So yes, coming back to the point. So the first is what is the objective of the brand in participating in the GIF, right? And once that is clear, what are the resources that you have which can complement your objective? And by resources, I mean manpower, funds, and the expertise to manage them both, manpower and funds. Now, let's say your objective is to promote a newly launched brand, right? Then what we need to plan is around getting more awareness. Probably GVs will be the right target, right? However, for most of the brands, it's about scaling up an already established business or operations, right? So then the secondary question would be how much do you plan to scale? So as a thumb rule, what we usually recommend is to uh, scale somewhere around 1.5x to 3x at a monthly level during JIF. And if you are scaling during GIF, you need to start expanding the top funnel, right? So there needs to be some customers that you've already reached out to before that scale up, which means more prospecting before GIF, right? And an ideal time range would be start to scale up at least a month prior. So, for instance, if you are August spends were 1x, and in October you plan to spend 3x, your September spends need to be between 1.5 to 2x, right? With majority of that fund going into prospecting. Because we need to understand that before any sale, there's a slump period where people browse a lot and add products to their cart. They do not make purchases. They start pausing their purchases for a while, especially for higher AOV products. So, yes, that should be the plan there. And let's say your October plan is still more aggressive, higher than 3x or let's say 4x, 5x. You might have to start the scale up from August itself, right? And August sometimes tends to complement that because we have that freedom sale. So that could be your first scale. Then you maintain that or scale up further during September and consequently during October. So this time the entire GF is falling into October month, but it could be a split between September and October. So this is about the ads part, but even before ads, there's a lot of other preparation that you need to do, and which might ideally start a couple of months in advance. Just to highlight those, one would be the hygiene of the account, right? The brand store needs to be totally up to date and portray the right information. So whatever your brand story is, let's say, it's more into some family bonding kind of stuff, right? Or whatever the brand story is, that needs to be very efficiently communicated through your brand store page. more new creatives around the event should be uploaded. More new creatives around the offers that we are planning to, you know, roll out should be there on our brand store page. Proper categorization of the brand store page. Then product display pages, obviously. Uh, on a top selling product, we need to ensure that more positive reviews are there. So sometimes what happens, a negative review might climb up as a among the top reviews. So you need to ensure there's no negative review at the top, right? So those are the hygiene points which I think most people who are participating in GIF are usually cognizant about. The second very important point is stock management. So depending on what fulfillment model you're operating on, you need to push your inventory towards fulfillment centers that are closer to the highest selling pin codes, right? So you get pin code wise data from Pile. So if let's say you have a limited stock, then your objective should be push that to the best areas. So your fulfillment timings and your best selling pin codes should be the best, right? One recommendation here is do not do not promote products with low inventory because that could lead to a lot of burning of money, right? And one innovative thing that even brands, Lazy Gardener is doing right now is launching gifting ranges if possible. So these do really well during events. And while launching those ranges, the special focus will be on the packaging. So that appeals a lot. Whenever someone is ordering a gift, placing an order for a gift, they are very much uh, uh, concerned about what kind of packaging is that product going to land to the end person. And apart from the offers and discounts need to be planned really very, very in advance. And as we go closer to the event, even the Amazon team, they have those bandwidth issues. So at the last moment, it might not be able to catch hold of them and get those deals available. But during the events, deals are really very important. Maybe lightning deal, limited time deals, or deal of the day, etc. But those tags on your products, especially on your top selling products, are really critical to engage the customers during events. So those are few of pre-plannings. In addition to these, there are a few other recommendations that I'll like to share here is uh, during GIF, what I feel it's not about creating new hero essence, right? You need to scale products that have been working well. Do not splurge money on building new hero products, new hero essence during that time. Let's say if your brand objective is that you launched a new product recently and you need to spend some money on that, have a limited budget for that. Let's say assign 5 to 10% for all those experiments, etc. But the majority of the budget, 85 to 90%, needs to go into products which have been working for the brand, right? So that's the best way to scale up, just to avoid any last minute loopholes or problems with the efficiency, etc. In addition to that, it's really very important to track your competition. uh, so let's say you are into smartphone category, right? And there, with your same specifications, there would be some other models also in the market. Now, one of your competition goes very aggressive with the discounts, right? And you need to stop targeting those. If the discount that they are offering is, huge and you cannot match that, you need to stop targeting those, and vice versa. So let's say if a competition product goes out of stock, you need to leverage the organic flow to that product, right? So you need to go very aggressive on that. So largely that, and one last thing probably which I've seen brands undergoing is the ROAS anxiety during the event days, right? So it's a normal trend on any event day that the first half of the day is very slow. The attributions happen slow, right? So do not be worried by looking at the ROAS figures for the first half of the day. That would definitely pick up, and we've seen brands, scaling their ROAS by 2 to 2.5x by the end of the day after all the attributions are done. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Abir. I think that itself was quite informational. So don't get overwhelmed, all of our attendees. We have the other panelists as well here to give you some more insights on what goes behind Great Indian Festival. And next, I would want to invite a brand itself, right, to answer some of your questions. So, following up on what Abhi said, prep is very important. AdYogi has been prepping their brands before any event. So we start around few weeks earlier, and that's how we go about as we reach the event dates, the actual event dates. So Vinayak from Lazy Gardener, Vinayak has been associated with AdYogi for quite some time. I would want to direct this question towards you. So since you have been a part of AdYogi, you must have heard about the quick strategies that brands need to follow before as you're heading towards the event. So what exactly has Lazy Gardener been doing?
Yeah, so I think couple of things what Abir said we have been following, and it has also been through the guidance of the team. So first, I think when you look at scaling, we took the Prime Day and the Great India, the Freedom Sale more as an experiment to understand what kind of scaling or what kind of SKUs can support our scaling. And that was a really helpful step that, and just on back of that, it allows us to create a more realistic expectation and estimation of the inventory we need to stock for the whole period of this sale period in October. I personally feel that one of the biggest focus that we have been able to do now that the ads are looked after, say, by a trained team, has been to focus on inventory and the goodness of logistics. So one of our focuses has been in preparation to get registered in more and more clusters so that the speed to customer is faster. And that's where also what we find is the competing brands are very few who are able to deliver in, say, 1 or 2 days. So I would say personally, one of the biggest focus has been there. Then our whole brand store and the product pages have gotten now videos on how to use, instructions, the frequently asked questions. It is also our attempt to kind of cross over the language gap if people have. So say the whole content would be in English, but the video that is uploaded can supplement that in, say, Hindi or English kind of a medium. So these two have been the biggest. Then the third has been we have created, say, combos and Diwali gifts. So as Abhi mentioned, the Diwali gift is very special for us, mostly because we are in a gardening space. So what I find is that when people gift, they gift based on their identity. So a lot of times these gifts are going to people who are not gardeners, who are not going to buy from me directly, but they will value heavily the advice of the person who is gifting, because definitely that person in their life might be a pro in gardening, or he is the plant person that they would listen to. So we have a full range of Diwali gifting products. And we have been trying to just make sure that the communication around them, the videography and everything is great. After the Freedom Sale, another thing that we have really ramped up upon is the prospecting campaigns. So what we have been looking at is how do we convert general browsers of the category into at least A, the goal is to introduce the product, and B is obviously to convert them. But then the idea is also, especially with the Amazon's look back periods, to retarget people during the discounted phase to convert the casual browsers who viewed, did not buy, added to cart, did not buy, and things like that to convert there. So broadly, 3 steps. One is the collection, the listing, and the logistics, inventory and logistics. These are the 3 that we have been focusing upon.
That's great. That really sums it up how exactly you should process, you should approach the Great Indian Festival in the coming few days. Enough about prep. They've covered that you need to have a count hygiene check. You need to have your listings vetted with the right keywords, the right product descriptions, etc. You need to have updated creatives on your Amazon store. And on top of that, inventory and identifying your hero products and promoting them and keeping them as the hero of your entire Great Indian Festival. I think those are the key pointers that we need to keep in mind. Moving on, apart from prep, standing out in the crowd is also very important when it comes to such events, such as GIF, because there's a lot of competition in the market. And since it's a Amazon-owned festival, of course, more and more brands want to get as much visibility as possible. So in that context, as a leading kitchen knife brand, what are some of the innovative tactics that Siddharth, you and the team have been applying, have been gaining to get that competitive edge among the other players?
Okay, so it's a very nice question. Okay, saying cutlery, okay, I would say cutlery is a very common, it's very common across the brands, right? And I'll also pursue saying this, that Amazon, when I still remember when Victorinox came with cutlery in India, they were not actually as considered cutlery as a brand, to making a good market. But what we have seen, with cutlery, especially we as a luxury brand, with probably my prices are about 75% as compared to the to my competition today. Okay, we have gained the name. Okay, and what we today do is, or what we have been doing is ensuring, see, because if you ask me today, the products are very nice. If you see, I believe on Amazon itself, the reviews for cutlery itself is not below 4.7 for us. Okay, it's globally for us. Okay, we keep on we keep on primping about our brand. Okay, and as Vinayak also suggested, right, we have made our videos and SOP for all the customers. So for example, you're walking into a store, right, you speak to a salesperson, he is very calm, and he'll tell you what exactly the product is, all the USPs about it, right? And that's what we have done, especially on all the top sellers what we have, right? Creating the right content, focusing on the knife, what exactly we garner to you. So I mean, just sense this, that as a cutlery today, we give you a lifetime warranty on our cutlery. Okay, so that's the kind of product what we have, and that has to be conveyed, right? At the same time, we keep creating videos. Also on Amazon, we have started doing a lot of display as well. This is completely on garnering and especially enhancing our users, telling what exactly Victorinox does. Okay, and we have seen this as a very kind of very good, and we have kind of probably I will say a very appealing result out of it, where we have seen our GVs also increasing, and we have seen people who understand a product today when it comes to cutlery. Okay, not only this, yes, also what we today do is we do a lot of display as well, outside Amazon. But ultimately it garners that people should know what Victorinox is and what Victorinox cutlery is doing. Okay, because unlike stores, there is no one, we don't have a chat box where we are going to go and explain every customer what exactly a single knife does for them, what kind of USP it brings into you. And that is how it helps us, right? We have seen a, I would say, I believe since we have launched cutlery on Amazon, I would say we have seen a 2500% jump in our business on cutlery itself. And it is the major driving category for us today on Amazon. Okay, we do travel gear, we do Suzami knife, which is a flagship of our company, right? But the kind of scalability what we have seen is cutlery is huge out today, right? And hence we have built the market like that. It adds to a lot of things, and as rightly also said, it also about the kind of the right allocation of the products. Okay, at our at our warehouses as well. Okay, so that there is because people today, when it comes to e-commerce, have two things in their brain, right? One is fastest delivery, the other is offers, right? Being a luxury brand, we really don't kind of convey that we are giving you good offers. Okay, we do during the events and BU, but those are not, I would say, if you ask me, not really appealing to users. But once people know the authenticity of the product, when they know how good the product is, they are ready to buy it. Okay, and tentatively, and rather I would say, what we have seen is, we have also seen that our ASP has grown. I still remember probably a year and a half back, our ASP was around close to around, say, what, close to 450 or 510 rupees. Now it has risen to 900 rupees, so that people know, right, what exactly the product is. They started buying combos. And what we have seen is our retention is also very huge when it comes to cutlery, right? I believe our retention, including my D2C on cutlery, is actually has grown from 4% to 11%. Okay, because people who started buying a single knife has actually moved to buying a peeler, have bought to moving to boards. Okay, cutlery boards as well, and even the combos as well. Okay, so the right path what I see today is, you tell about the product, you rightly tell up the what exactly your product does. The rest your product will do the magic out there. Yes.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. Definitely. I mean, if you know your product best, if you know how to put your USPs forward, that's the key, right? Also, we've talked a lot about combos today, which we believe, so we have seen brands promote combos excessively in the last few years as well. So combos is one of those offers that you can definitely try for your brands as well. It could be a gifting option, or it could be, culmination of different categories of products offered as one gift box. Moving on, just a quick check. Charchita, Amar, are we able to unmute the
Yeah.
devices now?
Yeah, Shruti, just wanted to check if you can hear us.
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
great. Yeah. So both of us will be connecting from our system.
That works. All right. Before we move on to the next question, I would like to run a quick poll for the audience today, just to understand how familiar the audience is with the Great Indian Festival, if you have done that before in the past or not. You'll see the poll live on your screens right about now. You can just feed in your answers here. And also, I saw a few hands raised in the middle. If you have any questions or queries, you can always drop that in the Q&A section present. And our panelists would love to pick them up at the end of the session. And the last 5 seconds for the poll. All right. I think we have feeded all of the answers. All right. As I can see, there's a huge number of our attendees who have not participated in a Great Indian Festival. So I think this is a good value-packed session for you all. And for those who have, I believe there are some of the features, some of the nitty-gritties that you might have not seen in the last Great Indian Festival that you might see this time. And to talk about that, I would want to invite Charchita for the next question. The question being, Amazon as a whole has evolved a lot over the past few years. And as we talk here, more and more updates are in the process of rolling out. So if you could shed some light on some of the features that brands can use in the coming GIF, that would be great. Charchita.
Yeah, sure. So thanks, Shruti, and hi everyone. We are so sorry for the technical glitch. I think we will not have a successful webinar if we don't have a technical glitch. Having said that, let me introduce myself first, because I think we were not able to introduce ourselves earlier. So I am Charchita. I have been a part of Amazon for over 2 years now. The reason why I'm answering this question is because I come from the category. So I was a part of the electronics category earlier. Currently, I'm a part of the ads team. So moving on to the question, what is it that is different this Diwali? I'll touch upon a couple of points that is new this Diwali, and then there are some points which we continue to do, but just re-emphasizing on those points as well. So what is new this time? Well, I think one thing that all of you are aware of is the fact that we are in fact in a very great year where Diwali is coinciding with the World Cup. So what is new this year is actually cricket fever. If you look at our Great Indian Festival pages on the mobile app or on the desktop pages, you will see that there is a lot of marketing, there is a lot of communication across World Cup and cricket. There are a lot of properties that has come up, and a lot of these properties are new this year. So some of the stores, like for example, match day deals or predict and win, etc. These are all linked to the matches that India will play. So there is something called as match day deals, where you can configure deals on your products on the days that India has matches. So I would request everyone to jump into the cricket fever. Please use all the properties that are available, which are very specific to cricket and World Cup. Having said that, there is also the aspect of communicating the importance of the World Cup through your brand. So, for example, if you are running a sponsored brand's video ad, you can use the communication of World Cup, or you can use communications of cricket wherever you can. So, like you can see, and I think in all the communication that has come up from Amazon's end across all media platforms, we are banking a lot on the World Cup to drive more traffic. We are banking a lot on the World Cup to make more sales for our themed products, please do jump on the bandwagon. And what we can say is that this year it is a great opportunity for us to leverage 2 events and not just one, because a World Cup is a Diwali for us as well, right? Especially when it's happening in India. So we have 2 events, and let's just cash in that. What is also different is that this Diwali, if you see, it's slightly delayed. So one thing that it has opened up, or one opportunity that it has opened up, is actually the fact that this also coincides with a lot of year-end purchases that people will do. So because Diwali is late, and because we are expecting the traffic to continue well after the event, at least for a couple of weeks after the event, I think it is also a very good opportunity for all of you to tap into the B2B side of the business. November, December, in fact, end of November to December is when we see a lot of B2B purchases happening. This is because a lot of the companies have to basically close their books, and they complete their year-end purchases. They consume the budget that is left. They also plan for the next year. So whatever inputs you have on B2B, on the B2B side of the business, so offering quantity discounts, offering more coverage of discount on B2B deals, these are some things that you can keep in mind, given the fact that Diwali is slightly later this year. What is also new, and I would not say this is something new, but this is actually an additional opportunity for us this year. What we observed in the last festival was the fact that a lot of our purchases happened from tier 2 and tier 3 cities and towns. We had in fact seen almost a 2.5 to 3x spike in tier 2 into tier 3 cities during the first 36 hours of sales of the sale period last year, which was quite higher than the spike that we had seen in the urban city, in the tier 1 cities. So what it also means is that some of the affordability levers, so when I talk about affordability, we are talking about things like UPI cashback on small purchases, or things like no-cost EMI. We have seen that the conversion for these instruments had actually gone up a lot last year, and we continue to see the trend even during BAU this year. So what will actually happen this year is that the acceptance of these instruments, these affordability instruments, will go up this year. So wherever you have an option, wherever you have high ticket purchases, please do see if you can enable NCMI on those products. Wherever you have low ticket purchases, see if you can run additional coupons, see if you can run cashback offers on UPI. So these are the things which I think this is a trend that will continue. Which will continue to see more and more acceptance in the coming period. So what will really happen is that NCMI, for example, we have seen that in last Diwali, we saw the conversion increasing from 16% to 22%, and the number is only going to increase. So again, another tool that you can focus on this year. So all in all, I think there are multiple things to focus on. Latching, just to summarize, latching onto the cricket fever, focusing a lot more on B2B as well, and then focusing on affordability instruments like NCMI. So I think all in all, we are all slated. Last year we had our best Diwali ever, and this is something that we want to keep on saying everywhere, that this was our biggest Diwali, and we hope we will definitely see that. I mean, we are quite certain of that, and we just hope that all of you have a great Diwali, have a great sale event, and Amazon is there to help you, and we are there to share insights with you wherever possible. So thank you so much for your time for today's session, and all the best to everyone for this festive season.
Thank you so much, Rachita. Great coming from you. I mean, great insights on the last year's Diwali as well. Now we know where the shoppers are buying from, what categories are they most interested in, and what are some of those actionable insights that brands can pick up right from here. Moving on, as you mentioned, Diwali is colliding. I mean, there's Diwali coming up, there's end of the season, end of the year, other festivals coming up. There's also World Cup coming up. So all of these events combined is also going to give a huge rise in terms of the brands promoting their products on the platform. So visibility again might be a little compromised. But Abir, I would like to invite you to talk about how exactly performance marketing here can now help in terms of gaining that sort of visibility that brands will definitely require in the coming few weeks. Abhi, are you here? You're on mute.
Yes, Shruti. Yeah. So I was saying, yeah, specifically in today's times, performance marketing has found its, more and more relevancy day on day. So, with the growing competition that we have and limited resources, uh, every brand, may it be an established brand or a newly launched brand, they need to ensure that each and every penny is put to the best use. And obviously, performance marketing, through the precise targeting that we are able to do, the cost efficiency, things. The and most predominant part is that performance marketing has some immediate impact, right? So whatever you spend today, you can expect the return from that spend within the next couple of days, right? So it's a measurable ROI that you get from there. Now, while doing this, while whatever operations that we do under performance marketing, there are some key areas that are to be kept in mind throughout the journey, right? The first, as I already mentioned earlier, was to have a clear objective. And the objective can be primary and secondary. So it's good to have two objectives there, but preferably not more than that at a time. And around those primary and secondary objectives, having a long-term plan. So let's say if your uh, objective is to create awareness or establish a new brand or a new category, or let's say generating sales, right? As a additional channel of additional revenue channel, just creating sales, generated sales. So here the funnel approach comes in, right? So you need to work throughout the funnel, right? For awareness, top is to be taken care of in mid funnel, and to close whatever prospecting that you've done, you need to have bottom funnel campaigns. Uh, in addition to that, and specifically during events, uh, discounting, and by discounting, I never mean deep discounting. We have brands like Victorinox, which are really very, cognizant about the brand presence that they have. So deep discounting is definitely not an option. If you are a brand which is focusing on a long-term business or brand perception building, by discounting, what I mean, I probably highlight that with an example. So there was a TWS brand, is a TWS brand that we're working with. So they launched a TWS model. By TWS, I mean truly wireless, so earbuds. And they launched three colors in that: white, black, and orange. So after a couple of months, white and black did well, but the orange model was, not able to catch up, to the extent that they thought of liquidating that part. The orange go, we just liquidate at huge discounts, etc. But that strategy would have had longer impacts, in the sense that the brand's perception among the customers would become as a low, cheap product or a low price product, right? Which the brand didn't want to have. So what they actually did was subtly they reduced. So the earphones were priced at 999. The orange one, they reduced that to 920, right? And what they did along with that was got a deal tag for orange one, but not for white and black, right? So all the banner ads that they run, the sponsor brand ads, etc., all those were run. And with this significantly less discount, which is almost 70 rupees of a discount, the response that were able to generate was really very high, right? And within a month, the all the stock that they wanted to actually liquidate was sold off. So with that, the 70% of 70 rupees discount, they were able to do that. Somehow, uh, here the timing of the discount was also very crucial. So this they planned this in the last week of the month, where probably people salaried class, they are bit conscious about spending, and they are spending only when needed, right? So their saving of rupees 70 was also a significant thing that probably was being perceived, right? So strategic discounting would be one. Uh, the next one would be the catalog management. You need to be very proactive in understanding what is selling or not. as I talked about, promoting products which been selling in the past, just promote scale those during GIF. But it's also seen that during events, there sometimes new trends are unleashed, new trends are seen. So it's very important to have that iterative approach during an event. So let's say you get started today with the first date, the day of the first wave. By half day, you need to analyze what has worked very well till now. Now, whatever products have worked well, start scaling them, right? So that catalog management becomes really crucial. What is selling? Are there any new trends that are being revealed in this particular event or not? And apart from that, another area which is very important is to reacting to the customer, the competitor response, right? What is the competition doing? Are they missing out some very important generic keywords, probably which could be leveraged? So, it's not just about being active at the back end, but you need to be there at the front end of Amazon also. Whatever related keywords you have, whatever related competition products you have, just keep on browsing those. What's happening on all those pages, you need to understand. And thereafter, understanding your attributed sales is very important. Uh, this is more relevant for a larger catalog brand because there a lot of cross attribution happens. For example, if it's an apparel brand, uh, and you have a shirts category. Now, this particular category has a lot of, the customer has a lot of tendency to browse different products. So they will check one shirt, but end up buying another shirt. The sale would be attributed to the first product, the first model, but actually it's a different product which was purchased, right? So there, the total sale is also something which need to be evaluated. What is actually getting, sold on the platform? So if uh, we understand the halo sales, the attributed sales, we can pinpoint that these are the products which are actually to be promoted. Uh, and you also talked about matrices. In addition to these areas, so what we usually see is that everyone follows ROAS and probably other indicators such as CPC, etc. But these are lag indicators. The objective should be to identify the lead indicators here, right? And definitely, more the data we refer to, better the decisions, right? And on Amazon, we have uh, the AMS portal for data. We have the Seller Central, Vendor Central, business reports data that we get, at a overall level. What are the uh, CTRs or conversion rates for a product, etc., can be easily fetched through Seller Central reports. Then we have Amazon Pie. We have external tools such as Helium 10. So more the data we refer to, better insights we'll be able to generate. And especially during GIF, all this is to be needed, is to be done at a really very high pace. So that is where tools such as ours, AdYogi, come handy, that we are able to quickly analyze all those reports and show that at a click of a button. So I was talking about these lead indicators. So these could be your CTRs, your conversion rates, your AOV. You need to be over the top of all these matrices. If your CVR is dipping, what is the reason of that dip? Then try to check where, the pinpoint target areas or the pinpoint products where the CVR drop is happening. It might be due to a competition response or something of that sort, right? Might be due to your own visibility of ads, right? So all that is to be analyzed. And if we talk outside GIF scenarios or event scenarios, you need to analyze your share of voices very efficiently, right? And one thing that I ask brands to proactively use share of voices to check their brand presence, right? So ideally, 80 to 85% of your uh, brand searches, your ad should be visible. Else, your competition would, be visible there, and very, very high potential leads would be lost there. Uh, while doing all this, while referring to all these matrices and the funnel approach that we talked about, it's important that at every funnel level you refer to different matrices. So let's say for the campaigns that we've created for awareness, right? There you should largely look for the impressions that you've got, the kind of CTRs that you're getting, right? And CTRs also help to regulate the overall account level CPCs, right? The share of voice, as you talked about. The mid funnel, where I think the majority competition targeting and long tail keywords happens, there the objective should be conversion rates. So even if the CPC is higher, you are getting that conversion for uh, a little uh, on the expensive side. You need to continue do that, right? Because in the long run, this is going to help you out. And probably at the bottom funnel, the metric that you can largely look up to is your conversion rates and ROAS, right? So that funnel-wise approach for matrices is really very important. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Avir. While we're talking about metrics, we also have a couple of questions coming in from the attendees. One of which is Israr asks, how much is CTR and CVR likely to rise during GIF versus BAU? Avir, are you here?
Yes, yes, yes. So see, the traffic certainly spikes during the festivals. So that means people are browsing more, people are searching more. Your CTRs are gonna have a tendency to scale up, right? But conversion rates is specifically are dependent on a lot of other factors. What are the deals that you're offering in comparison to the other competition that is there, getting seen by the customers, right? So CPR, although as a thumb rule, during events, the ability to purchase, or let's say the willingness to purchase increases. The CVRs do tend to increase, but that would depend on a lot of different factors.
Got it. All right. Thank you so much, Abir. While we're talking about the performance of a brand, I would want to direct the next question towards you, Amar. So order fulfillment can be one of the key areas which can very easily influence the performance of a brand. So could you provide some tips to ensure an effective as well as a streamlined fulfillment process? Amar.
Yeah, thanks, Shruti. Thank you so much. First of all, my apologies again for tech glitch earlier. So myself, Amar, very good afternoon to everyone attending the webinar. So I work in capacity of partner development manager with Amazon. Have been part of Amazon for about 6.5 years now. Have worked with some of the biggest brands on the platform, be it Wow, be it Pencil Blaze, Friends Diapers, and you just name some of those top brands on the platform. I have worked with them one-on-one very closely. Broadly from an advertising perspective, but I think I can take this question for the fulfillment channels, right? So I'm sure most of the advertisers, most of the sellers of brands on Amazon are aware there are broadly three types of fulfillment channels. One is merchant fulfilled, the other one is seller flex, and the third one is fulfilled by Amazon. Also, we have IXT, and then we have Easy Ship, but they do not have much influence on the performance of the essence as such, at least not directly, right? Now, coming to what fulfillment channel, probably I think it's at the first place it's very late for us to be discussing this point, mainly because I think all the appointments are closed with Amazon centers, and right now I don't think if anybody wants to inbound anything unless they have some specific arrangement with Amazon, they won't be able to do that, right? Anyways, just speaking about it, I think FBA has the top priority on the platform and always would rank higher, since that promise a delivery of same day versus 2 days delivery or maybe 4 days delivery would have a drastic difference in conversion ratios. Now, like this is one of the studies that we had done, and we kind of saw CVR increase by at least in office products. Let me be again very specific about the category for office products. So basically, there was this study done during the event for the products which were fulfilled by Amazon with the same day delivery had 32% higher CVR as compared to 3 or 4 days delivery. So delivery time actually plays a very important role during the festive season. People anyways get the products delivered in a week or 10 days time. But the crux here is how quickly can we deliver, right? So this is where we kind of recommend to go ahead with FBA. It has like a promise of one or 2 days delivery. First thing. Second thing, it has a major impact on the rankings of Essence, right? It can have organic ranking impact. It can have impact on your advertising visibility. So that is pretty much about FBA. Then obviously, if you're doing MFN, there could be a lot of brands who are doing MFN or who are doing both, right? Like FBA and MFN. One suggestion here could be please work with your couriers. People are actually tied up during Diwali, a lot of deliveries to be done. This can actually be the game changer, for merchant fulfilled channels here. And then obviously seller flex anyways, you have the advantages of FBA, just to deliver the packages from your end, right? So yeah, broadly, I think that is about the fulfillment channels. And coming to the planning of inventory, I think most of the sellers or brands, they do plan for tier 1 cities, the likes of Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, and so on. But in the sale event, we have seen, there have been like a lot of traffic coming in from tier 2 and tier 3 cities, which is usually not prioritized. A lot of sellout happens there, and we don't have inventories there. That is another pointer that I wanted to highlight. So please make sure that you, if you have, inventories sent out to all the tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. You can look at your sellout reports maybe once the sale event starts after a week or 10 days time. You can kind of look at your sellout reports and then come up to a conclusion as to which particular location in the country are you getting most sales from. And please make sure you have enough inventory in those locations, because this is a month-long event. It's never going to be too late. So that's another pointer I wanted to add. And then maybe if you were to look at the trends, usually getting the appointments, for the bigger brands is much easier, but for the smaller brands, it's not that easy unless you have some category managers in Amazon who's looking into your account. So please plan and make sure between the events. So let me say the event starts on 7th, and then after first week, please look back into the kind of traffic that has flowed in, the kind of conversions that have happened. Please do a projection and make sure in between the waves, in between the peak periods, please refill the inventory. I think these are the top things while you're planning for the inventory. However, I think, like I mentioned earlier, going for FBA appointments right now, it's too late. But as we go along during the month, I think we still have a lot of time there. So 3 things. Please try and put as much inventory on FBA. You will have a better visibility there, better rankings there. It will help you drive that. Please make sure you are also available on tier 2 and tier 3 cities. A very key point there, right? And then maybe you want to replenish your stocks between the waves, just to make sure you are able to sell out a lot during this phase 2 and phase 3 of the event. Now, another thing, what happens is wave 1 is usually vendor brands heavy, which I mean is it would be selling top brands like be it Xiaomi, be it Samsung, be it OnePlus. So all the smaller brands would get much bigger opportunities in wave 4, which is much closer to Diwali, and a wave before, just before Diwali, right? So please try and make sure you are available at that point and don't burn out, right? This is a month-long event, and if you do not have enough stock, you will run out of the risk of not being shown on the platform, which is the which is the biggest blunder of the period. But yeah, I think these are the few points, Shruti. I think
Thank you so much, Amar. Just picking up one of the questions from the audience, how much can sales be impacted if you have the Amazon Choice Award? I mean, Amazon Choice tag.
Yeah, I think Charchita, can you answer that? Yeah.
Yeah. So just wanted to clarify one thing, that the Amazon choice tag is actually not really Amazon's choice, it is the customer's choice. So whatever sells really well gets that Amazon choice tag. So you will see that in certain category, for example, if you consider something like laptops, you might see a tag which says #1 or Amazon's choice for gaming laptops, which means that within the gaming laptops portfolio, this is the laptop that has sold the most. Right. So that is how the Amazon tag comes. It's basically a reflection of something that has already sold well. So it is not something that Amazon provides by any other means. It is just a reflection of something that is already sold well. So yeah, definitely, if you get that choice, if you get that tag, it indicates that customers, more and more customers are purchasing your product, and it definitely increases the sale. The increase or the impact of an Amazon choice tag is very, very varied across different categories. But for some of the electronics categories, or for some of the high ticket purchases that we call, the impact is actually to the tune of, I mean, the conversion can increase by 14 to 15% in certain cases. But having said that, this is again very category specific. Please do not take this as the benchmark number. High ticket purchases generally, because these are all products where reviews and ratings matter a lot, right? So if customers are purchasing more, then somebody else might also consider purchasing it. But having said that, it's basically it's a quid pro quo. So if your product is already selling the most, it will definitely get that Amazon choice tag.
And it's very dynamic in nature.
Yeah, it's also quite dynamic in nature. It basically changes very frequently. So I hope that answers the question.
Got it. Thank you so much, Chachita. Another question. This is to you, Vinayak. One of the panelists spoke about multi-language videos. However, we have seen that SBV creators, if not in complete English, the language, don't get approved. Can you please help understand how to go about this?
Yeah. So SPV, we are still experimenting. But what I was talking about was more embedding into the store and the A plus content. Yes, in SBV, I think if the interface is in English, the video has to be in English.
Got it. Thank you so much. All right. Abhi, maybe you can help here. What percentage of sales should go into advertising? I think they're asking about the budget.
Percentage sale. Of the total sale is what I get from this question. So again, this depends a lot on what stage of the brand life cycle the brand is. So if it's a well-established brand, the percentage might even be 60-40, where 60 is coming from organic, 40 is coming from ads, right? But for new launches, new brands, or brands which are still, creating that awareness in the market, the majority chunk is meant to come from ads, right? So, what is important? So, actual percentage is not what is important here, but what is important is your absolute sale, whether it be organic or ads, should be in sync, right? So, if you are scaling up your ads month over month, your organic percentage should, your organic absolute sale should also scale, right? So that is what is important here. The percentage would depend on these are the factors. So a newly launched brand, might be spending so whatever ads they are doing. So might be the case that 95-90% of the sale is coming from ads.
Got it. I hope that answers your question. Um, we have another question. What is the best practice for budget allocation between the different campaign types during the Great Indian Festival?
Right.
So they're asking
So
about, yeah.
yes, yes. So I can share a thumb rule here. What percentage split you can probably focus on, but there would be two primary things which would override any thumb rule or any suggestion here. One is your account history. So what has been performing in your account? It has been SP ads, it has been SB ads, or whatever formats. Because I'll tell you here, one of our clients which was into DIY stuff, DIY art. So for them, videos, SB videos work the best. So even better than SP ads or any other format. So they were spending close to 60% into SBV videos only, right? Because it makes sense that customer can understand how that DIY art is to be used, right? And subsequently, so what has been working into your account is of utmost importance here. Second would be some category insights. But let's say if you're starting fresh during this event or any other point, uh, you need to start with SP ads, and that too specifically keyword SP ads, because this is one format which is the most mature format on Amazon, and kind of building relevancy of for your products, for your entire catalog becomes easier through SP keyword ads. Right. So once you start spending on that format, you might explore the other formats, SP product, SBV, SB, and SD formats. But that needs to be the starting point. If you are beyond that stage of building relevancy, as a thumb rule, probably 70%, 65 to 70% can go into SP. Another 15-20% can go into SB ads, and similar for SD ads. Right. But while doing sponsored display ads, there is one thing that you need to be very cautious about. Uh, so if you do VCPM sponsored display ads with the targeting the advertised product, it has a tendency to eat up your organic shares, right? So someone also asked the question around organic percentage. So that is where you need to be very cautious about. So VCPM ads, SD VCPM ads, limit those. Not do not do that beyond 10% or 15% of the overall spend. Yeah.
Maybe Shruti, maybe I can add a couple of points here in
Sure.
addition to what Abir did. So basically, I think it is backwards from backwards from what the brand wants to achieve, right? Like if we were to look at it as a funnel, the top of funnel is where the products like sponsored brand and display or brand video would come into picture, where sponsored product would not come into picture. Consideration is where again we have like sponsored brand and video display and sponsored products come into picture. Now, what are the ratios? Ratios can vary from person to person, category to category, but in a general thumb rule, like we are dividing it into three different parts. One is discoverability of the product, one is consideration of the product, and third is the sales part of it. Now, there could be a lot of brands who come to the platform with a lot of funding. They want to launch the product, they want to get seen, right? I have spoken to brands who say that I'm okay, if there's no sales for about a month or so, but we want people to have that brand image built in their mind, right? Which talks a lot about discoverability, in which case we kind of promote them to we push them to do sponsored brands, maybe more than 50-60%, like what Abir mentioned. And then comes sponsored product and sponsored display, right? Like sponsored product maybe 40% and 5% each for sponsored display, SN targeting and audience targeting. Now, coming to consideration, again, there could be, how the budgets are split. Consideration is, the percentages would not really vary. But here, sponsored brand, again, goes with 50-60%, sponsored product with 40%, and sponsored display comes another 10%, right? And sales, obviously, the majority chunk of sales is sitting with sponsored products. That is where we have seen a lot of sales coming, and 30% with sponsored brands. So basically, this is these numbers are coming from some kind of a study that we did internally within Amazon. Maybe we can share this insights with you separately, Shruti. You can then share it with the audience. But broadly, this is the approach. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for the addition here, Amar. I think we can pick up the last question now. This is for you, Siddharth. So, how important is it to get customer reviews and customer engagement and feedback? And what is the role that it plays while executing a successful GIF event for your brand?
Okay, so yes, customer, customer is the one who speaks about us. Okay, one customer is actually, I would say still, I would say it's organic referral for me. Okay, what the customer speaks about us is completely true out there, right? And as rightly said, right, what how do you bring the Amazon bestseller out here, right? It's not only that how many sales you are doing, it's also about the customer reviews. How many actually how many returns are coming into it because of the product. That all speaks all about the product itself, right? I'll tell you a quick example of, for GIF for last year as well. Till last year we still remember that, when it comes to cutlery, we were completely imbibed on, seeing the performance marketing. Okay, but the branding was very less. Okay, and that's how we imbibed of this year by coming into branding itself, especially for cutlery, right? In fact, this is the third quarter that we are doing the display within Amazon itself. Okay, and they have been, quite efficiently migrated from, awareness to consideration and to conversion. For the start of the year, I would say for the first quarter, we were more on the awareness of cutlery, what exactly our products are, what kind of different SKUs and ASINs we have, what are the USPs of it. Okay, and then slowly moving towards consideration and conversion as well. Okay, that has helped us, to kind of, convey the customer that yes, when it comes to Victorinox, don't consider it as a luxury and a kind of a brand which is pricey when you see it, but look at it, what exactly USPs are of the product, what exactly are the gains from the product itself. And being a Swiss brand which is giving you a lifetime warranty, I believe there are very few competition or new competition within our sector, and when it comes to cutlery, who are actually leveraging that kind of, USP in the sense of giving you a lifetime warranty itself. Okay, also the same thing what we saw last year, we had, even this year, I believe, I think that was close to freedom sale, where we had seen, that when it comes to the logistic part as well, where we were not kind of our FCs, and we were not fulfilled with the, the kind of demand was there, and we were actually delayed on giving the product to the users, because as I said, when it comes to e-commerce, only two things what consumers see today is offer and the delivery time. Okay, so that has to be any which way is enhanced anyway. Okay, and always has to be enhanced there. A lot of, hence, as I said, because the videos, if you see today the cutlery videos, and even if you see our different videos on a travel gear, even on SAK and watches, are completely different, because we understand what the consumer accepts. Okay, because we have seen, we have offline stores as well. When the people and the when our fans are coming to the, to the store, they are very relative about asking the questions, especially why are you selling a simple knife at kind of what, at 590 rupees, I would say. That is the base price what we have a simple knife, whereas for me, if you ask me, a competition at 70 rupees as well. Okay, so, terminating those things, kind of, suggesting users what exactly is happening, helps us, to gain that footfall in a competition. Okay, and as I said last year, to be honest, 2022 was, we were, I would say, and kind of candidly also say that we were very dull in brand promoting. We were completely dependent on performance. But this year we have completely taken that as a learning, and we have started promoting both, all our categories mostly, especially the cutlery, where we have enhanced the branding completely, right from display on Amazon, display outside Amazon, which is again generating display to Amazon itself. I would gladly say, and probably Amar would like that also, that 91% of our cutlery business comes from Amazon itself, apart from our competition. And we are quite heavily, I would not say we are dependent, but we know what Amazon brings to us today. Okay, so hence, a lot of thirst and a lot of, sweat goes into when it comes to Amazon. Be it anything, whatever is conveyed to us is taken very, aggressively. That whatever suggestions are converted, given to the category heads, even the ads guys, we completely take it absolutely into 100%, and we try to deliver that itself. Yes, that's more of what I can suggest you, especially when, travel gear. Yes, if you ask me, for when it comes to Victorinox, travel gear has a huge competition for us. Okay, we are within the premium segments today. I'll openly say that, being Victorinox, we are with very limited SKU and ASINs which we leverage with offers. Okay, and to be honest, if you ask me by heart, I really don't want to convey a lot of discounts. But what we have done is, we have actually, Victorinox went and bought a brand known as Wenger, which is again a Swiss brand. I would say it's a huge competition to our, to our other competitors out in the market, which offers you a value to the product with the kind of price which is comes into. Okay, and eventually what we did also during the Freedom Day sale, or probably just after that, we launched a combos also onto it. And yes, we have started seeing a lot of traction there. See, when it comes to a user, what we have seen is they want a Swiss brand, but kind of within the pocket. Okay, and that's what Wenger gives you today. And the way we have planned the branding, to be honest, it was late for us for Wenger branding, but what we have subjected is 2024 is going to be huge for Wenger also when it comes to branding. Branding also helps you to enhance your organic business, and that's what we have seen and we have learned. Okay, there with the chaos and the tacos, you will actually get to see the changes out there, especially on tacos, that yes, the organic has actually give you, the branding as organic, give you, a built on the organic as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Siddharth. With that, we will be closing today's discussion. Thank you so much for attending and participating and staying back till the end of our session today. It was indeed a very conversational as well as insightful session. And I hope you had a few takeaways to take from this conversation. Moving forward, if you want to get in touch with AdYogi, know more about our services, if you wish to get in touch, you can always reach out to us with the provided link in the chat box below. Now, the perks of attending today's webinar do not stop here, do not end here. We are also offering our latest white paper on how to leverage Amazon A+ content listing to boost sales. You can access that for free with the link in the comment section now. Chat box, yes. Thank you so much again. With this, we'll wrap today's conversation, discussion, and hopefully we'll see you all soon with our upcoming events. Thank you so much. Good day. Happy Diwali.
Thank you, Shruti. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Good, Yogi. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.